and gentlemen, let's go. Travel, life, and fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
You're listening to the Life Adventurous Podcast, presented by Say What Radio.
The Life Adventurous Podcast is for fun-loving people who want to find, create, and live with adventure as a norm in their lives. Not just that type of adventure that makes you shit your pants, but the type of adventure that lights up your soul and helps you to feel even more alive. I'm Jenny Holla, your podcast host, and welcome to your life adventure. Life is interesting. The thing about life that gets me is that sometimes it feels like going with the majority of people is easier than breaking the mold and following your dreams. And it's crazy because I have experienced this through my life time and time again. And I remember when I was a kid and like middle schoolish age, I had tested into some of the talented and gifted courses at school. So I was in accelerated courses and I got made fun of a lot by the other students. They called us tag fags. Then they changed the name from tag to visions and called us visions pigeons. But the reason I share this is because I remember coming home to my parents and asking if I could come out of those classes, and I just wanted to be normal. I just wanted to be like everybody else. I didn't want to be in these talented and gifted classes. I didn't want to be in accelerated classes because I was constantly made fun of. And good on my parents because they talked me into staying, and I'm glad I did in the long run. But that's just one example where like what everybody else is doing just seems easier, even though it may not be easier. And to be different, even if it's different in your own way or doing something that's against the grain, can present challenges. And here I am in my 30s and the same thing comes up, the same thing happens. I just recently quit my corporate job, decided to follow my heart and my dreams and my passion. And the reason I chose to do that is because it's like I've been on this cycle. I've been on this cycle for a while. Like I've had this dream inside of me. I've had this urge inside of me, and it's been in there for a while. And I've tried to get it out and I've tried to get it out. And what happens is I've put myself out there and then something, some kind of excuse or some kind of something from my job would suck me back in, or I would get nervous, or I would lack the confidence in myself, or whatever it was. And it's like I would hide for whatever reason. I mean, I could name off about 10 different reasons why I have come out and hid over the years. And most of the times that I hid, or the thing I stood behind, legitimate or not, was, I'm busy with my corporate job. I'm busy with this, and that was my distraction. And that's what I was pouring all my heart and energy into. And I found recently that I was in this cycle of my heart craving something more, my inner gut, my higher self, like whatever it is that word that resonates with you, like that higher thing that's just calling for more, kept calling. And I would respond, or I would say, no, I need to keep my corporate job because this is the practical thing. This is what I'm supposed to do. And there's a lot of different reasons why it was the right thing for me to stay. But my point is I changed jobs about 6 months ago. I went from one corporate job to another. I went from a very toxic environment to a very fast-paced, entrepreneurial, high energy, high vibe environment. Yet I still found myself on that same cycle. And the thing is, when you make decisions to follow your heart that are against the grain, that are against society, that are against the flow, there are going to be things that come up. There are going to be times that come up where fear comes up and it knocks on your door. It knocks on the door in your brain. It just comes out and says, hey, why don't you come over here? It's easier over here. I had one of those moments today. Earlier this evening, I was listening to a podcast and it talked about dreaming big, 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 big. And towards the end of the podcast, it absolutely brought me to tears. And I'm really unsure where those tears come from because I'm still learning how to connect to my emotions and really feel them out and allow them to come up and allow them to pass through and all of that because I've been going so fast in my life all these years. So the crying is not really what the point is. The point is that I had a moment where I was sitting in my car in the parking lot and I thought, why can't I just go the easy way like everybody else? Why can't I just follow what everybody else does? Like I could have had a kid and I could have had a family and I could have stayed in my job and I could just kind of lay low and stay quiet and just live this great life, supposedly, right? And that comes up, and I think in those very vulnerable moments, those are moments when you start to think and you start to wonder, did I make the right decision? Is it easier just to do what everybody else does, or the perceived idea of what everybody else does? And what's crazy is these are the moments that you can ground yourself in belief, faith, and confidence. These are the moments when you really dig deep and you really listen to your heart and soul for what it is that you really want. Because what's crazy is what you feel like everybody else is doing, what everybody else is falling into. I bet you there are lots of people out there who wish they could follow their dreams and wish they could listen to that inner voice. And for many different reasons, they don't. They haven't chose to. They had fear. There's other circumstances, because that's life. And I really just wanted to take this time in this very first episode of the Life Adventurous podcast to let you know that it is possible, and you can follow your heart, and you can live this amazing life that you've wanted to live. It's okay to step away from the norm. It's okay to do something different. It's okay to really tap in to who you are and explore those different sides of you. It's okay to go the path that may be unexplored, right? And what I mean by unexplored is maybe unexplored by you or the people that are in your circle of influence, your family, your friends. You might be the first and the only person to do this thing. So it may be so different. And I'm not a stranger to quitting my job or doing things that are outside the norm. But this specific time definitely has been the hardest. And while it's exciting, I really don't think it's hit me yet. And as I continue to step into my power and step into my belief and step into my confidence and continue to explore, transform, and grow, I know that this path will get even better and even more powerful. And what's amazing with this journey, the journey of a life adventurist, is really just tapping into those fun moments of life and exploring, expanding, and constantly evolving and transforming into an even better version of yourself. And there's a lot of different ways we can do that. There's a lot of different ways. I'm so glad that you're here with me. And I really want you to remember that whatever it is that's calling inside of you, I want you to listen to it. I want you to start paying attention. I want you to consider getting, just quiet and listening and maybe start to follow some of those nudges and those intuitive hits that you have, and really be aware of what's there deep inside and explore different ways that you can bring that dream, you can bring that passion, you can bring that thing that's been calling you into your life. I'm really excited for you on this journey. Know that you can find me on Instagram, some of your stories, reach out with your questions. I'm on Instagram at The Life Adventurist. And, stay tuned. There's going to be more and more of these podcasts. We're going to explore more aspects of what it is to be a life adventurous. We're going to talk about travel. We're going to talk about food. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about adventure. We're going to talk about burnout and blocks and all energy. I'm going to explore lots of different topics as they come up in my life. And as you guys continue to plug in and listen and learn, the questions you have. I want to hear what you want to hear about. But for now, thanks for joining. I'll see you guys next time.